feedback would be, you'd see a difference happening. So there's this line which caught my attention. It said feedback is the breakfast for champions. So I took this as breakfast to be the start of, if I give my child feedback at the start of the unit, or in math or in English or UI, I know the child will take that feedback throughout the unit. But if I wait till the end to give a feedback, it's not going to help the child throughout the unit. So feedback should be given as early as possible. When you see in the start of your inquiry and you see that the child needs feedback in this area, you give the child that particular feedback in that area, because you know by the end of that unit, your child is going to use that same feedback you gave him at the start. So, excuse me. There's this thing, just if any of you could tell me what you noticed from this picture. It's a house, but what is wrong with the house?
Coloring.
Okay. So like,
Doesn't have all the features.
No.
What you would normally draw, like a window and a door. And
yeah. So since we're running short of time, there are many things that are going wrong in this picture. But when we give feedback, we concentrate on one specific thing. Because if we give a child feedback about everything else that is wrong, the feedback is not implemented and it doesn't make sense. So if you concentrate only on probably the structure of the house, that the house has to have the roof joining on the top and just the structure, it's better, because then the child, by the end of the time, by the end of the unit, will concentrate only on that specific thing. So it says that feedback should always be specific. It should be understandable to the child, because, as I said, you cannot give feedback of everything and expect the child to understand it. And we cannot do an assessment on Friday and ask the child for their feedback on Monday, because they have lost, even the next day, they've lost what they did in that particular activity. So these feedbacks really help a lot, because sometimes when we are preparing rubrics, for example, we write, document your research. Like suppose for example, document your research. The child doesn't understand that language, the words, the vocabulary used. So probably we could simplify it and say step-by-step method. Use pictorial graphs to explain, okay, you can go the next step and you can go further. So that's what they're saying. Feedback has a lot to do with gaining what the child has understood, but then you put it very simple, in simple terms to the child for them to understand it. Also, you use words like you can do better, you've done well, nicely, not something like very bad or bad and negative. Anything that's negative.
I would like to add, when you say you can do better, what can you do better in? The feedback has to be specific. So if you want to write to a child that you've done good at this, what he or she has done good at. You can do better, yeah, but I as a child don't know what I can do better. This is my best. So you have to specifically say you can do better at using different words. You can do better at your grammar or your punctuation or whatever you want the child to focus on. So the feedback has to be very, very specific and to the point.
Because it says when you're giving feedback also, it's like you have a discussion, you ask which part of your activity you think you were most effective in, which part were you less effective